Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're doing another comic book review. Today we're looking at Ultimate Spider-Man number 12. I know Ultimate Spider-Man 13 already came out. I already read it. It's freaking awesome, phenomenal stuff. But I had to read this after winter break since I wasn't in town, and that's why this is a bit late. But it's a great issue. It was by Jonathan Hickman and Marco Checchetto, and partially I think Checchetto being on this issue was kind of a waste. Messina could have easily done this issue, and Checchetto could have done all of the other issues for the next 3 months or so, right? Because that's usually how it goes. I think he needs a few months to kind of be away from it and then come back to it. And nothing in this issue is like action-packed enough to really warrant Marco Cecchetto's artwork. But I think that there was a need for continuity between this issue and the next, which was why Checchetto was on this, right? So it is what it is. But the story here is basically an awkward Christmas party. I think it's funny that, you know, usually we think of Christmas as this happy-go-lucky time, and it really ends up being pretty difficult to deal with for a lot of people, right? I had a bit of a few different awkward moments throughout my holiday season this past year as well, so I get it. But this is a bit, elevated because, you know, these types of stories are supposed to be melodramatic and ridiculous and have excesses and stuff like that. So it opens up with Ben and Jonah showing up to Peter and Mary Jane's apartment or house or whatever you want to call it. And Jonah's really not sure he should be there because he's like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Why are all these people happy and wearing, you know, funny outfits and stuff, right? Because everyone's wearing an ugly sweater. And it turns out that, well, not everyone really is happy because Aunt Anna, Gail, who's Mary Jane's sister, and Madeline Watson, and Madeline Watson is Mary Jane's mother, are all here. And it turns out that Madeline is here to stay for a while because she has come back from whatever it is she was doing, and she's staying with Aunt Anna, who's not happy about this. And MJ is really tired of dealing with her mother. They're bickering in the kitchen, and it's not really working out because Madeline Watson is a very judgy type of lady, right? And this is pretty common, I feel like. A certain demographic of older women are just kind of, just like this. And you as a younger person just have to deal with it, right? And Mary Jane's not doing a great job at this. So it is what it is, but I think it's pretty funny. I do enjoy it. And apparently Madeline Watson thinks that Ben is an attractive man, and she wants to try to date him now that he has to move on, right? And this is a bit not sus. I was gonna say it was a bit sus, but it really is just a little bit uncomfortable because, like, I get it. She's not wrong, right? Like, after someone passes, there really isn't anything you can do besides grieve and then move on. And she wants Ben to do that, but I feel like at this point, it's still not that long, right? I mean, I guess it's been like a year or so. But Ben seems like the type of guy that would not move on that easily, that would like rather stay by himself than really try something less meaningful than what he had with Aunt May, right? So Madeline just kind of wrong here. And since he sees MJ and Madeline bickering, Pete decides to be the hero and go in there to see if MJ needs help. She does a little bit, and then he goes away, and then Ben comes by as well to see if she needs help. She doesn't at this point, so she just kind of tells him to go away. And then we have May and Gail chatting, and it's not really great because Gail asks May, the daughter of Peter Parker and Mary Jane, if she remembers her. And it's kind of accusatory and kind of mean-spirited. And, well, it's not really May's fault, right? Gail is the one that never shows up. And Mary Jane comes in to talk about that. And she's like, hey, don't be like that with my daughter, right? And then Gwen calls and is ignored by Mary Jane. Gail and MJ have a bit of a tense moment there where they get angry at each other. And then Ben is apparently dropping old lady knickers over there with the Watsons, Anna and Madeline, as they chat about Ben and the interest that Madeline has in him, right? Then Peter and Mary Jane have a bit of a moment. It's very cute and loving, and I really, really like it. because it really leads into the ending of this issue that is really kind of out of left field and very, very exciting and interesting, right? So Jonah and Richard have a bit of a bond there. They're both offbeat kind of guys, and they don't really fit in. And Jonah is this older figure that really works for Richard, that really helps him out. It's not really a mentorship thing. It's more like my dad can't help me with this specific area, so let me go and talk to this other older male in my sphere, right? That's very common for young men, and I thought it was very meaningful to show it, because I think it's something that we really don't show off all that often. Something that is meaningful, that there is this great font of knowledge that can be passed down that rarely is accessed properly by people, because we all think that we have to do everything on our own, right? And that's not really the case. So they're having their conversation over there in the corner. Then Gail and MJ finally get into a fight, and it turns out that Gail's just a bitch. She really is mean. She thinks that MJ settled for someone boring, and she's upset that it actually turns out that MJ got the right person and Gail ended up with a piece of shit. And she's very, very upset that her life sucks and needs support, but doesn't really know how to ask for it. So she came by to MJ's house to be annoying, and eventually they kind of figure out what the hell's going on, and they hug it out, and it works out. But I mean, honestly, I feel like there should be a bit more on MJ there. She should be a bit angrier at her sister for being such a shitty person, but it is what it is. And then MJ finally takes Gwen's call, and it turns out that Harry has been missing for 2 months, and Peter should know where he is. So she asks MJ to ask Peter if he knows, and it turns out that Peter's not here. It's the suit. And it's oh shit, because the way that this ends is very, very sinister. And it's very, very cool, because it turns out that Kraven has the boys, and the next issue is going to be about all of that. So it's very, very exciting. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a great way to end the year off. And honestly, I think that this is really where the end of this Talking Heads kind of issues kind of comes about. At this point, we have a huge set of characters. We understand the motivations of so many people, and life has been going too well for Peter at this point. It's been a year, 12 issues of Peter being good and successful and stuff like this, and enjoying his life as Spider-Man, and it's time to bring it all crumbling down. And it turns out that Kraven's going to be the first guy to have a crack at that. So I'm very excited about this. I think it's great. So there you go. Those are my thoughts here on Ultimate Spider-Man number 12. Let me know what you thought. I will do a review for Ultimate Spider-Man number 13 next week. So it should be out relatively soon. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys later.